again with a login form for a black label. As you see here, I have to put the logo of jeweler. As you see, this logo is getting famous, and I'm just gonna use this as a logo for the YouTube profile too. And as you see here, we have a login form which has these on it, and this nice effects on the submit button. If I click on, you see that it's put focus on this. So let's create it out. And also I should mention that I created using Bootstrap and HTML and CSS. So I'm gonna go and dive in VS Code, and I have already created a folder here called login form. In this login form, we put the needed set for Bootstrap. If you have access to internet, you can use it cdn, but because I'm poor, I'm gonna use its offline mode, and I don't download that. So the first thing I'm going to do here is to create a login.html file. So I'm going to say login.html. I'm going to get rid of this ribbon here. To do so is Control B. And now we're going to do our HTML here. So I'm going to say HTML, and if you just press on HTML5, this is going to generate this for you. And now we have to link our CSS with this file. So I'm going to say CSS bootstrap.main.css, and done. We connected with a bootstrap. So here I'm going to create a section. I'm going to say section. We're going to give it a container fluid. So inside this, I'm going to create another section, and it's going to have a class of row and justify content. Justify content to the center. And before this, I'm going to create an each one. So I'm going to say joy learn, and inside this section, I'm going to just create another section. So I'm going to say section, and we're going to give it cool 12, and cool made is 4, and cool small is 6. And if you don't know about the great system of Bootstrap, I encourage you to go and learn it. And aside this, what we're going to do is to create a form. So I'm just gonna say form, and this is going to have a class of form container, and also yeah, that's all. And it's going to have no action because we are just styling it. We are not going to interact with the backend, and I'm gonna off its autocomplete. So I'm just gonna say off. Inside this form, what we wanted to do is to create an h4, and inside this h4, I'm just gonna give it a class and put the text into center, and its font weight, it's going to be bold, and font weight is bold, and text to light. We're gonna set its color to the light, and inside this in HTML, we're just gonna pass login. So to see this, I have already installed a package here, an extension here called live server that enable me to right click on go and click on open with live server. It's going to open our project in here. There we go, we have it. We don't have the login. Here we do have it, but because its color is light, you can't see it. So we're gonna change it using CSS, sorry. So the next thing we're gonna do is to create a div with a class of form group. Inside this form group, I'm gonna create a label, and this is going to refer to email. Inside this, I'm just gonna pass email. So I don't have a label here, so I'm just gonna get rid of it. So, and I'm gonna create an input type. So I'm gonna say input, and its type is going to be email, and we're gonna give it a placeholder of a type your email here, and We're gonna give it also a class. I'm gonna say class, and its class is going to be form control, and we're gonna set it 6 to light. Ta-da! There we have it. And we're just gonna copy and paste this because we need it for password too. So I'm just gonna copy this and under this and just paste it. It's going to be password. So I'm gonna say password, and its placeholder is going to be type your password here, and that's all. We're done with. Now after this, I'm just gonna come here and create another div here, and we're gonna give it a class of forget. No, we're just gonna put everything to the center. So I'm gonna say text center, and its margin is going to be 4, and its text to light. So, and inside this, we're just gonna pass for gate password with exclamation question mark, and at the end we have a nice button. So I'm just gonna say button. We're gonna give it a class of btn primary, and btn block, and inside this we're just gonna say submit. So nothing is now visible because there's some bug here, so I'm just gonna restart it. I'm just gonna close this and restart it over again. Open the live server, and there we have it. These colors are now visible when we just set the background to black color. These are going to be visible for you. So I'm just gonna come here and create a CSS file. So I'm gonna say style.css. And inside this, first, before everything we have to do, everything, we're just gonna link it, because if you don't link it, anything you type, that's not going to work for you. So I'm just gonna say style.css. There we go. And as usual, we have to select the body. So I'm gonna say body and margin to 0, 0, and padding also to 0. And its background, it's going to be black. Yeah. Now things are getting visible, but we have to solve it a little more. So we're just gonna select the container fluid. We're gonna set its margin from the top, not just margin, to 20 VH, and its padding is going to be 30 pixel. Its width is going to be 100%, and height also to 100%. It puts things in the center, and yeah. So the next thing I'm going to do is to select the fluid container, and from the fluid container we're going to select each one, because the first thing I'm going to do is to install this logo here. So I'm going to say each one, and what we want to do with this, we're going to set its position to absolute, because we don't want to this border to these things here. So we're just going to save it, and you see that it's before it was pushing this form down, but now it's working well. And now that we set its position to absolute, we have access to its top property. We're gonna set it to 10 pixel, and it's going to be here. Yeah. So after that, we're gonna select the form container itself. So I'm gonna say form and container. What we wanted to do is give it a box shadow, because I love giving box shadow. Before I was loving border radius, now I start loving box shadow. 10 pixel minus 6 pixel and 12 pixel, an RGB color, which is going to be 26, 22, and 22. I think that I'm gonna need this RGB color, so I'm just gonna copy this and set it to minus 10 pixel and 6 pixel, 12 pixel, and this. So now save it, and nothing is now visible because I select from container, not form container. Yeah. And I always have a struggle with typing form or from, and we're gonna give it a padding of 40 pixel because you saw that the padding was too close with the borders. Yeah, so now we have it. And after that, should I give this a margin? No, I shouldn't, because it's close and then located in the same position with this one. So we're gonna select I'm just gonna get rid of this ribbon, and here, if I make it a little bit more bigger, so you guys can see it. So I'm gonna say form, and the form group. We select the form group, which is form group is right here. And from the form group, we're gonna select the input itself. So let's say input, and we're gonna set this background to transparent, and it's a margin from the top. It's going to be 10%, and it's a border top. It's going to be to none, and I'm just gonna duplicate this and set this to right, because we only want to have border at the bottom. So I guess just set it to none. Now you see that we have no border around these things. We only want to have a border at the bottom. So I do have the bottom here, but if you notice here, we have a border radius. I'm just gonna get rid of border radius and set it to 0. And they are getting straight. And the next thing I'm gonna do is to set a color to the border bottom. So I'm gonna say border and bottom. So we're gonna give it solid. It's going to be solid, 2 pixel, and an RGB color. And I guess that I have already copy and paste. I copy this color because we are going to use it too many times. So after that, I'm gonna give it a box shadow to look the way that these input types looks. So here I'm just gonna give it a box shadow and 0 pixel, 5 pixel. I played with these stuffs too many times to make this look like this. Really need to appreciate to myself. So 12 pixel and that RGB color. Yeah, they are looking like this. And it's looking exactly like this one, but the only thing we have to design is this button. So, but there's a problem. If I put my focus on these buttons, these are going to lose its effect. So we're just gonna select this again. So I'm just gonna say form group type. I'm just gonna copy and paste it down here, and we're gonna say if there's focus on, just keep it as before. So we're just gonna say background to transparent. This time type the transparent, and and we're gonna just copy these stuffs from here. Just if I just put focus on, you see that we get rid of that color from here. Yeah, so now we're gonna do stuffs on the button. So I'm just gonna come here. We have the button inside the where we have our button. Here is the button, but we have it inside the form container. So I'm just gonna copy this form container. Educate to refer it like a parent to and child, because when your project gets larger, you will lose its control if you don't just use to select your elements like these. So from the form container, we're gonna select the button, and we're gonna set its background to transparent. So I'm gonna say transparent, and its border is going to be solid 2 pixel and that color. So we just have to copy. Before we copy this white, oh, I didn't copy that. So I just copy this, copy and paste it down here. Give a space and get rid of this space. Yeah, there we have it. Now we have to style its hover a little more. So do we have to path anything else here? No, we don't. So I'm just gonna copy this, copy it. We are so lazy. We're just gonna say hover, and whenever we put the cursor on, we're gonna say background and this RGB color again. Have you ever watched Masha and Misha cartoon? I really love it. Yeah. So, and the border is going to be RGB. And we don't have to just copy and paste it, and we're gonna give it and now it's looking like this. We hover on, you see that it's looking like this one. But if you notice, when I hover on, its height lose its size. So just static, I just set its height to 40 pixel. There we go. And now it's going to what? It is 4 pixel, not 40. So now if I refresh it and go hover on, nothing gonna change here. And this was from our project, and we have to also change its title because we don't want it to be just you know, what is it? Document. We're gonna say login form. Joy learn login form. Joy learns, actually, don't forget apostrophe s. Joy learn what? Login form. Yeah. So if you want to design this logo a little more, I did that in this, but we're gonna do it here. No, I'm not gonna do it because you guys will get bored. So this was from our tutorial, and I hope you guys learned something from this tutorial. It was amazing, and if you're in love with the black color, you can design your website in a black color. And I assure you that there is no person in the world who hates black color. Everybody gonna love black color and try to style your website in a black color. Take care, and hit that subscribe button to my channel because I really need that. Bye.